Hello, everyone. Welcome. Um, I hope you can hear me. I think yes. Um, just a quick introduction. Please welcome Catherine Chabiron. She has a huge experience on the Gemba. She comes from the automotive, and I just stopped my introduction right there because she's a star today, and she has a lot to tell you, a lot of insight on leadership about lean. So enjoy the talk.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Remy, and everybody. Hello. I'm going to try and share my presentation. Hold on. I hope you all see the presentation, and Remy will tell me if there's an issue. We're talking today about lessons on lean leadership because, as Remy mentioned, I have been doing a lot of Gemba. You see me here on the right-hand side attending a Gemba even in Japan. And this is something I have been doing in France for quite a number of years. And I started again in January, visited a number of lean companies. And obviously, there are common traits, common points that I can observe when I discuss with the leaders in those companies. And this is what I'm going to share with you today. Um, Actually, the discussions we're having today is coming from my experience on notes from the Gemba. This is a feature I do for Planet Lean, and I write every 6 weeks or 2 months or so an article on a company, a French lean company that I visit. So maybe some of you have read some of those articles, and we're going to go through those discussions now. Whoops, sorry, a bit too fast. The first thing I observe when I discuss with those lean leaders is that to satisfy, they all understand that they have to be customer centric, but they also understand very, very quickly and very finely that they have to develop people in their teams. This is an example I show from the Paris Psychiatric and Neuroscience Science Hospital. Maybe you've heard Michael Ballet yesterday mentioning it, talking about it actually, talking about the experience of Guillaume Couillard. And Guillaume is adamant that we should work on patients and really not only say patients are important, but live it. But he also knows that he has to facilitate the life of the professionals, of the staff, because this is how patients in turn will be well treated. So it's very clear in all these OBEA and all these discussions that let's refocus on patients when we discuss solutions. And what about the patient? Does it help or not? And what about the staff? Is it easy for them, easier for them? Will it help? Can we free some of their non-value added work and so on? So it's very much onto this patient professional, or if we extrapolate to other companies, on the customer and staff, customer and people. All of those lean leaders, they spent a lot of time on the Gemba. When you are in big companies, maybe they can't go more than, this is what Guillaume Couillard, you can see him here. He will manage, even in a very complex, huge organization, to do a Gemba once or twice a week. Others in smaller companies are practically there every day. And they spend time understanding what's going on in terms of customer delivery, of course, but also in terms of issues. This is Frédéric Avila in Magican in Veolia. Michael Ballet also mentioned it yesterday. This is Jean-Claude Beer in Alliance Mime. They spend a lot of time on the Gemba to understand what's going on. I don't think that would surprise you. But what is more maybe interesting is they have a very clear framework of what they want to achieve on the Gemba. And they have an order. This is Proditech, a company that does tablet inspection machines. This is the priority list that they have to ensure the things are going smoothly. First, they will do safety I put security, sorry, my mistake. I meant safety. It's security in French, that's why. So it's safety, quality, lead time, cost. And this is what Proditech actually spells out in the offices. And the safety is, of course, you can imagine, you can't ask people to do Kaizen or to do improvements if you don't provide them with safety first. Second, and that's not so obvious because everybody is more onto lead time. Second is quality, right first time. This is actually what Toyota would do when they do a product launch, and I've witnessed it in the automotive business. First, you make sure that the quality is there. You do a smooth, slow ramp up of the quality, and then you push on for the real takt time and the lead time. So safety first, quality second, then the lead time, and the cost will probably follow. The illustration I'm giving here on Bernard Control is very interesting. You have a chance, by the way, to listen to Bernard Control and Cyril Garambois in the next half hour. It's absolutely fascinating what he's going to tell you. But this is an example of what they do. They have quality reviews, and they bring in, of course, the people from the Gemba, from the production workshop. But they also bring in the engineers, the R&D engineers. And it's absolutely critical that the engineers be there to make sure that we have a right first time in the assembly. It's easy enough, or no, it's not easy enough to design parts. It's very difficult to design new products. But one part of the job of the engineers, as understood in all these lean companies, is that they have to be there at the product launch and after then, if there are any assembly issues, to fix them so that we have a right first time assembly of the products they design. So this is typically one of those quality reviews where they are discussing with the parts in hands the quality issues they have. Whoops, excuse me. Another thing that I find, and that's part also of the safety first and the quality first and developing people on the Gemba, is we take care of making the Gemba people's work easier. I have a full article on this with plenty of examples. And all those lean companies are really making sure that they look at how the people are working, and they try to find solutions together with the people most often to facilitate their jobs. This is an example picked up from this article where you can see that the right-handed operator has to move over, cross over to take tools from the trolley because the trolley is very cumbersome and cannot be placed to the right of the workstation. So they have designed a Kaizen there and have added a stackable tray that they can put on the top of the trolley and move to the right of the workstation so that the operator doesn't have to cross over to reach the tools. This is simple enough. This looks like, wow, too easy. But it takes time to organize it, and certainly it does take time to spot it because the people who do it, who cross over day after day after day, will probably won't tell you this is an issue. But the lean manager's job or the team leader's job is to be on the Gemba and spot it and solve it. Another interesting thing to come back to the engineers, it's always better when it's designed upfront. This is Jean-Claude Beer, Alliance Mims story. He was explaining that if you look at the part on the left-hand side, you can see this is a part that has to be machined. And to be machined, it had to be clamped. And when they were clamping the parts to machine it, they usually got chips around the parts. And well, that didn't bother anyone. The operator would remove the clamp, take off the chips, clean them up, and it was done. But one day they decided to try and reduce non-value added work, and they decided to go for an automated downloading of the clamp. They wanted a robot to come and take away the clamp. The robot could do that very easily. They could take away the clamp, but it could not clean the chips. It was not sophisticated enough to do that, or the cost would have been too much anyway. And they couldn't do this unloading, this unclamping, automated unclamping, because of this cleaning issue. But somebody found the solutions. All they had to do was to actually come and put a cache on the part so that the chips wouldn't get in. And then they could proceed with the automated unloading of the clamp. So those Jean-Claude, when he was telling the story, would say, Jean-Claude is the manager of this company, he said, why didn't we think about it up front? And this is really something that those companies are trying to do, is how engineers are there on the Gemba to understand the difficulties in assembly, the difficulties in making the service, the delivery, and so on, and trying to improve the design upfront so that the quality is built in upfront. Another thing that strikes me when I see these companies is they have a real strategy, a customer strategy. This example on the left-hand side is a small home care provider. They work with disabled people. You can see that Lean reaches any kind of job, because Aloïs in Bordeaux, in southwest of France, they are doing home care service for very, very disabled people who require 24-hour attendance. And what they do with those people, they are trying to do a plan for every client. In other words, each client or each customer has got its own specificities in terms of what we need to do for them, what care we need to do, what things we should be aware of, how to put a belt or whatever. This is an example here of a belt that they have. How do they put it on that lady? And it's absolutely customer specific, because people are in their own homes. You have to take into account the room, the equipment in the room, the flat or the house, the person's disability, whether the family is there or not. And this is why they have to design a client specific plan. And working on a plan for every client is really what is making them best in town in Bordeaux. This is an example, but if you are on production, this is back in Proditech. This is a company that does tablet inspection machines. And those guys have got sophisticated machines here to actually check the tablets. I'm talking about pills and tablets from the pharmaceutical industry. And those tablets have to be inspected. We must make sure that they are complete, no holes, no dust, no bug, so that when you are eating them, the medicine inside them will diffuse slowly, not immediately, which could create havoc. So they have to inspect each and every tablet before they actually put them into boxes to be sold. And the difficulty of those machines that are inspecting is they have to bring down all the tablets on a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt is actually driving the tablets to a camera, and the camera is actually analyzing whether the tablet is fine or not. But you can imagine that you have first to download the tablets, stabilize the tablets so that they can be correctly seen by the camera. And in this example of Proditech, they manage actually I went to see them in 2017, I think, and I went back this year, and they have managed now to double the throughput of the conveyors. They have tripled the speed of the conveyor. You can imagine the speed is really an issue, because if you are going too fast on the conveyor, the stabilization takes too much time before it reaches the camera. but they have managed to triple the speed, double the output, and they have reduced the stabilization time on the conveyor from halved. Then they really divided it by two. So it's amazing what they do. But of course, this kind of very sophisticated, go fast machine is more costly than others. And some people will need them, others won't. So what they do in this product Obeya is actually they are thinking out in terms of modules and in terms of sophistication of products, highly sophisticated, less sophisticated, for this customer or that customer, for that need or others. They're thinking modules, and they are really preparing a wide product lineups that would suit all kinds of needs and businesses. And this is really thinking in terms of product catalog, and very typical of what Toyota is doing, where they are designing cars for any kind of users. You well know the story about Toyota on this subject. So it's very interesting to see them. Yes, they are customer centric, but they are very, very interested in the specifics of each customer and how they can adjust a product offer for each of those customers. Another thing that is quite obvious is that they are pulling learning from delivery or production problems. They are not trying to learn out of the blue. It's really related to Kanban issues, to delivery issues, to quality problems that they derive their problem solving. And the lean leaders make sure that they are doing just that. We're back in Allianz meme, and what is done is amazing. If maybe you've heard of the book Visible Knowledge by Alan Ward, and he was explaining how the knowledge can be maintained and kept through trade-off curves and all kinds of graphics that would show what we've learned and understood about the process, about the product, and the constraints we have. Well, Jean-Claude Beer in Alan's meme has managed to actually do those trade-off curves, on every single of his processes. So he's actually capturing the state-of-the-art scientific knowledge that we know about the process. He's adding all the mistakes they've made in the process in the plant, and he's deriving from all that all the curves that will tell you, okay, this area is safe, but here, if we go too far that way, it's not going to work. And it's amazing because he's using it as teaching tools and learning tools, and also tools to understand or analyze problems when they have quality issues when they have. Another such example about pulling problems from production or delivery is this is in R&D. This is something they are designing shutters and blinds for the houses. And here they were working on a small interior blind engine. So you know the blinds, you usually roll them down on your windows. This is, of course, an automated rolling down or rolling up engine. And they had a noise issue there. And they didn't know how to tackle the problem, but they went through a complete analysis of what they knew and didn't know about acoustic issues, where it could come from. They created causal diagrams, which really made them step forward onto the understanding of what was happening. And that's systematic scientific analysis brought them back on track on their project, and they managed to deliver in time, which was not the case before. So this came really from a R&D project delivery issue, and they worked on it with all the lean tools that we have. The third example I have is from IEO. IEO is actually doing Karakuri Kaizen. Maybe you've heard the term. This is those devices that you put along the line, the production line, to carry or bring or put at your disposal boxes of components without using electricity or whatever. It's using gravity or strings or things like that. And to build those Karakuri Kaizen elements, they have to do cutting operations very often. And as you can see here on the bottom one, the cutting operation was not always very neat. And they did a Kaizen because this is an operation they do about like 15,000 times a year. So they got fed up with the issue. They did the Kaizen with the teams in the workshop to create really a good cutting system, which gives you this cut now on top. And by doing that, they halved the time of cutting. And I'm not even mentioning the quality. You can see it with your eyes. So on top of the quality that was improved, they divided by 2 the time of the cutting, which probably is giving them a 20,000 euro operation gain in the year. So all those guys are actually using delivery production issues to build learning. Another thing that strikes me as well is that they are going into very, very fine details and precision. If you listen to Cyril Garambois, Bernard Controls, that is talking just after me, he will explain how he's used the MIFA, the Material Information Flow Analysis, to do a very, very detailed analysis of the production lines. And this is how he managed to understand for himself first, and second, to launch discussions about stocks overflowing the LAs, about unnecessary rework or components that were actually everywhere in the plant, and his freed square meters, his regained flexibility in production. Listen to him, this is quite amazing. The other picture I'm showing here to the right is coming from a different environment. This is a small software publisher. They are doing a time management software. It's a very small team of 8 people, but the manager you can see here is on the Gemba, and he's found a way to create a Kaizen iteration. He's actually assigning Kaizen themes to each of his team members. And they start from a vision of where they want to go. Here, this is the lady in charge of the marketing. They are very small, so they need to be better seen and found compared to the other big software publishers. So she's working on an iteration of PDCAs, opening one, understanding the cause, maybe getting a result, but stumbling on another issue, and is helping her finding the next step, working on the next step, and he's putting a little done on each line when it's done, and the learning is captured, and he's opening a new one, and through this constant iteration of what is the next step, who are you going to have to talk to? Oh, that guy has got a lot of work to do. You're going to enter a bit of negotiation here with him to get him to do what's needed. And that's tough, yes, but I understand, I support you. This is how you're going to do it. Oh, yes, great. So those iterations of PDCAs are really a fantastic learning process. What is amazing also with those lean leaders is they know their TPS really by heart. They know that the customer satisfaction, the R&D product lineup, the R&D design, the right first time built-in quality, this will bring customer satisfaction, and that will grow sales. And by the way, all these companies I've been talking about have been growing sustainably, even throughout the COVID. It was a little bit of issue with the COVID crisis, but since the COVID is gone, they've started again with the growth. They are growing and they are fine in terms of sales. The second thing that they understand is just in time is really improving cash. It's freeing square meters, lead time, improved lead times, reduces the inventory, the stagnation. It's improving the turnover you can do on your assets, the rotation on your assets. So it's improving your cash. It's limiting your capex because before you actually spend money on a new line or a new machine, you find ways of using the current machines or equipment to do twice the same volume. So this is really, just in time is really helping reconciling the cash and the results. Maybe you've heard Olivier Larue yesterday on the Toyota economic system, and he's explaining just that. They all know that all the Jidoka and Handan systems will decrease the non-quality costs, so they're all of them on it. And they know that working on the standards, working on the Heijunka, the leveling of the efforts will reduce the waste or even eliminate the waste. And same for the problem solving, the TPAs, the TPM and the 5S, because working on the workstations, working on the problems, doing preventive maintenance, having standards on the best gesture, having Kaizen all the time to improve the Gemba people's work, having leveling effort, leveling the effort, not having people going all mad because they have too much work. All this is actually bringing in money into the company because it's reducing stupid non-value added work or waiting times or reworks. Last point is it's difficult to be a lean leader. It takes time. You can see that all those people are very much onto the Gemba, so they have to think ahead in terms of transmission. Here you see the CEO of IU on the left-hand side, of Proditect on the right-hand side, and behind them, looking at them, are the people they are training to replace them in time. It takes time because they have to learn the TPS, they have to learn lean, they have to learn the customers, they have to learn everything those two leaders have learned throughout years of Gemba. But they're doing it in advance. They didn't wait till they were 70 years old to start transmission. They started when they were 50 to actually hand over all the learnings and the lean way of managing and leading. Any questions, folks? I'm going to stop the sharing. I didn't look at the chat. Remy, maybe you had a chance to look at it. We have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I have one question from Sean Smith. Thank you for a question about actually what is a Gemba supposed to be? Is it supposed to be a checklist, or is it supposed to be finding at least one improvement and carry it? I think I tried to rephrase your question, Sean. I hope it carries the purpose of the question.
Gemba is actually, number one is being there where things happen, because when you are a CEO or a big boss, even if in a small company, you pulled away from the Gemba by many things. So number one is be there, understand what's going on. There's no point saying we're going to do this and we're going to improve that and we're going to propose this product if we don't understand the capacity of our own company. So we need to be there. Second, it's not so much to propose things, because the people on the Gemba do know much better their work than we do as CEOs or outsiders. But it's more to point out that, oh, guy, this looks very difficult. Can we improve these situations? You're trying to reach there, and it's obviously difficult. Can we improve that? Or there is a quality issue. Anybody's working on it. Can we do it another way? It's difficult to assemble. Okay, can we do it another way? Anybody has got an issue? This is really observe, maybe point out difficulties, or come back to the COMEX and say, hey guys, I've seen this, and maybe you should go to the Gemba and work on it. I know we're very close to the end, so my answer is short.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ketan. I've seen your question. I tried to reach out to make an answer for this. Thank you very much, everyone. We have to stop right there, and I hope you enjoyed this. And you should definitely go to see Cyril Gamba's talk. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Romain
Catherine.
Rocher and plenty other French people
plenty.
that will explain more. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye.
Bye.